Hello, everyone. I don't know if anyone can hear me. If you can hear me, please let me know on the comment section. So we'll be waiting till 7 o'clock. Then we will start. Can you hear me? Please, if anyone can hear me, please let me know. Okay, thank you, Jay. I can see your message. So we'll be waiting till 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. West African time. I hope you all are fine. How was your week? Please, if you can hear me, you just say hello. Okay? For those of you who are joining, we'll be starting by 7 p.m. So we'll be waiting for some people to come online. By 7 p.m., we will start our session. Okay? For those of you who are joining, we'll be starting by 7 p.m., okay? So let's just give us a couple of, let's say, the next 4 minutes. Then we can start up officially. If you are just joining us, you are welcome, okay? We'll be starting by 7 p.m. Spanish time and 6 p.m. West African time. So in the next 2 minutes, we'll be starting. Just be patient with us, okay? Please, if you don't mind, can you quickly tell us where you're watching from? Okay? If you can hear me, quickly put on the comment section where you are watching us from. Thank you. Okay, welcome, Jason. Okay, we are good to go. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me and see me very well. And I hope you all are fine. And thank you so much for deciding to join our live section today. Okay. I'm actually very excited to be doing this because it's one of our first live session on this YouTube channel. I've been doing live sessions for other YouTube channels and even on the Twitter space. But this will be the very first one I'll be doing on our channel, okay? And I'm excited to be here to do this, and I'm glad you are here with us to listen to what we have to say, and also to we'll be expecting your questions, just like we said earlier. We'll be expecting your questions and your concerns, and we'll be able to address them properly. Before I continue, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Jude, and currently I am doing my Erasmus Mundus scholarship program for public health in disaster. And my program run across Spain, Sweden, and Cyprus. And based on my experience applying for scholarship, for many years, and based on the information I've gathered over the years, and I've decided that I will do this, a live session where I will talk to individuals who have concerns about their scholarship application, who have troubles, who have things that they need to clarify. Let's just see it as a form of, a personal, live session where you throw your questions, you throw your concerns, and we address them. Whether it's about your SOP, whether it's about your recommendation letter, any aspect of the scholarship application that you feel that you are confused about or that you need more clarity. So that's actually the essence of this particular live session. Okay, so you all are welcome, and I hope that by the end of this day, by the end of this live session, you will gain a lot from our discussion, and then you will use it to make your application and have a more outstanding application and increase your chances of winning whichever scholarship you decide to apply. Okay, and before I forget, please do well to drop your questions on the comment section, because this particular session is basically for you. Okay, this session is not for me, it's for you. So if you have questions that you want us to address, do well to drop it on the comment section. While we are waiting for that, by the end of this session, I'll be making an announcement for individuals who are interested in having their statement of purpose or motivation letter reviewed. Okay, if you want me to review your motivation letter or your statement of purpose for any of the applications you are making, please, I encourage you to stay to the end. Towards the end, I'll make an announcement and I'll pick about 5 persons whom I'm going to review their statement of purpose and have an in-depth discussion with them. Okay, I encourage you to stay to the end. Before let's move ahead with some other things that we have. I hope you know that the Erasmus Mundus program will be starting next month. Yeah, October. Most of the Erasmus programs will be starting October. So I encourage you to have your documents ready and to have every of your packages well arranged. So if this is an opportunity for you to start writing your motivation letter, choose the programs you have decided to go for, and then start working towards them. Like I said earlier, I used to get a lot of messages after I make some videos about the programs to apply for the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. The Erasmus Mundus scholarship, most of the programs there are unique programs. They are not the programs you easily find in other universities. I've said that severally in some videos. You may not see your program there. You may not see that program you did as an undergraduate there. How you find your program is very simple. Once you go to the Erasmus Mundus catalog, okay, you open it, you just search some keywords, maybe keyword from, sometimes you can even decide to go through all the programs. There are about, I think, up to 200 programs in the catalog, okay? Just go through them one after the other if you can. It's easier that way, in the sense that you'll be able to see the title of the program and see some of the descriptions of the program. That way you will be able to understand the details of the program and know which of them align with your background. Look at your transcript, look at your undergraduate program, look at your career prospect, and also look at your work experience, what you have been doing since you graduated from the university, or what are your interests. These are the things you will look at. When you look at them, you will now compare them with the interests, and you compare them with what the program is saying. That is how you locate the programs to apply. Okay. Personally, I did parasitology as an undergraduate, and then I'm currently doing public health in disaster. My interest for this program was as a result of my experience during my internship, and due to the volunteer programs I've done before graduation and after graduation. These are where my background aligns with this program specifically. And there are other alignments my program have with this program. Okay, so this is how you are able to get programs that will suit your interest. You may not see the program you are looking for specifically. Okay, so just look for something that aligns with it. Some of the courses you did from year 1 to your final year, look at them. They may be the title of the master's degree program you will find in the Erasmus Mundus, catalog. So once you find it, then that becomes the program you are going to go for. You go through it and start looking at, their requirements. Every program have unique requirements. I stated that in my last video. Every program have unique requirements. Yes, all of them are Erasmus Mundus program. Okay, all of them are Erasmus Mundus scholarship program, but each of them, they have different requirements. Some of them may request that you have a work experience of maybe some years. Some of them, they don't need your work experience. So it's very difficult to generalize. That is why you must do your unique research about the program you are going for. So I have actually addressed how you can identify the programs within the Erasmus Mundus catalog that will suit you. Okay, and once you have identified that, the next thing you need to do is to know when the program will be open for application. You need to know when the program will be open for application. For the Erasmus Mundus program, most of their programs, like I said, will start next month. Some of them may even start next year, January. Some of them may start December. For my program, we don't really have an information yet whether we are going to accept new applicants this year. Okay, I don't have this information for now. However, whenever I get the information, I'll make sure I share it in the community so that anybody who is interested will make his or her application. So, and there is another information I think you need to have. When you are making application for the Erasmus Mundus program, I strongly suggest that you email the coordinators and inquire about the status of the funding that is available. This is very important. I decided to talk about this because sometimes some programs in the Erasmus program, they have what we call or the contracts. Okay, a program may have a 5-year contract, and this 5-year contract means that they have funding to take care of 5 sets of students, full funding, 5 sets of students for 5 years. After that 5 years, they reapply to the European Union to get funding again. So during that process of reapplying, and they are waiting to be approved, from the European Union to give them funding for the next set of students that are going to be admitted. Sometimes not all the programs that reapply for funding gets this funding. It's an important information I think you guys should know. And sometimes they don't get this funding, and sometimes they start they start taking application immediately. And as they're taking application, hoping that they will get approval. At the end of the day, they may not get approval, they may not get the funding. It means that these students who have been awarded the scholarship will not be able to go for their studies. The scholarship will not be active. Yes, this is an important thing. So I encourage you, when you have decided that this is the program you want to apply, there is nothing bad there. Email the coordinator if you can find the email of the coordinator within the website of that program. Email the coordinator to inquire the status of the scholarship. Okay, whether they still have. Sometimes this information will be on their website. You don't even need to email them. Yes, they may tell you that they have this is the cohort for 2024 to 2028. When you see that in 2024 to 2028, it means that there is funding, there is money available for any student who is admitted between the year 2024 and 2028. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, but if this information is not in their website, where they tell you that they have funding available for this, please email them so that you don't get scholarship tomorrow and then discover that there is no funding available. Okay, it's very important to have this information. I have a question here from Manji Kefas. Okay, he said he'll be graduating in 2024, and I'm told that a final BSc must be submitted before school resumes. What if in the event my certificate is not ready? Will they accept statement of results? Okay, Manji, thank you so much for your question. Like you already know, you can easily get your admission and get your scholarship with your statement of results and with your academic record. If your certificate is not ready and your transcript is ready, your university can accept it. Okay, you have graduated, Certificate processing used to take a lot of time. So, but your transcripts can easily be produced by your department. The certificate is usually produced by the school admin, okay, but the transcript is prepared by the department and sent to the school admin. So that document, that transcript has more power than even the certificate, because the transcript states the entire courses you did throughout your program, and your transcript also states your class of degree, also states the type of degree that you got. So the transcript, you can easily get it. So you can use it together with your statement of account when you get admission. Another thing you can do, Manji, is that you can as well write to the VC. Okay, if you have been awarded the scholarship, write to the VC, take your scholarship letter, and tell the VC that you need your certificate to be produced. They can produce your certificate based on emergency. Okay, they don't have to wait for the other batches to be ready. They produce your transcript specifically for you. Okay, they just have to fast track it for you. It happens. So I've seen a couple of people who did that, and it's worked out for them. So don't be scared about it. However, still make all the necessary efforts you need to make your transcript available as soon as your certificate available as soon as possible. I don't know if I was able to address your concerns, Manchi. If you have other questions, or if I didn't address your question very well, please do well to let me know. Okay. So guys, if you have other questions, please keep on dropping them, okay, while I continue what I am saying. So once you have made your application, and another thing I need to talk about is when you're applying for this Erasmus program, try as much as possible to look at the background and the interest of that program. The program is changing. Like I told you, this Erasmus program is made up of several universities in Europe. They come together and they create what they call the consortium. Okay, so these consortiums, they have different agenda for the programs that they created. So they have different agendas. So look at the agendas of each of those programs. The entire Erasmus Mundus program does not have the same agenda. They have different goals, different priorities. So you look at their different priorities for each of them. Some of them want people that have long time experience in that particular area. They don't really care about, they may not really care about your bachelor's degree background. They just want, people who have worked in this particular area. So that is the people they are interested in. So make sure you look at them. And if you have such background, if you have such requirements, please make sure you sample them in your statement of purpose as well as in your CV. These are some of the skills that you need to have. So making program A, program B, and program C, they are different. Okay, they are different. They are not the same. Some of them may want people that have solid background. Okay, they have solid background in in the areas of their interest. They will tell you that they want people in chemistry, people in physics, or people in this. That's exactly what they want. Okay, so if you have this background, highlight it in your essay, highlight it in your CV, bring them forward. I have a question here from Jay. Okay, I'm new to the scholarship space application. What are the documents required for scholarship applications? Thank you. Okay, Jay, thank you for the question. Since you are new, actually, you are in the right place. Okay. What you need to do, the scholarship application documents you need, they are simple. I'm going to run through them as quick as possible. You need your statement of purpose. Okay, the statement of purpose are written for different programs. I will go through them one by one, but I think it will be very long, but I will mention them briefly. You need your CV. Okay, if you're applying for scholarship, you need your CV. Your CV should be an academic CV. An academic CV is the best. Okay, and when you then use the Europass CV, there is the Europass website. I have a link of the Europass website on one of my videos I did about CV. Please, I encourage you, if you're applying for the Erasmus program, please use the Europass CV. It is very important. Use it. Even if you're applying for other scholarship outside, the Erasmus program, any scholarship in the EU, any scholarship in the US, all the scholarship, the Europass CV is very nice. Please use it because it has your information stored online in the European Union website. You can easily generate as many CVs as possible. Each time you get new skill, new certification, you just go there and put it in and then download the updated version. You can remove different portions of your CV online. So it's very beautiful and it's well arranged. Okay. So you need your CV, your academic CV, you need your transcript, of course. You need your you need your SOP, you need your motivation letter, like I said earlier, you need recommendation letter. So the details of these things I will explain later. However, I still have some videos of these things on my channel. So different scholarship need different things. Erasmus will tell you that they also need your proof of residence, that they need a certificate that shows that you are residing in a particular place. Okay, so you will need that one too. So you just have to go through the requirements of the scholarship and know exactly what they want. But some things are inevitable. Your transcript, your transcript, your CV, your certificate, and your motivation letter. Some of them will now request for English language proficiency examinations. So these are basic things that you need. Jay, I hope I was able to address your question. Okay, back to Manji Kefas. Okay, thank you so much. In ABU Zaria, it takes 3 months before final result is out. By my calculation, if I write my final exam by May 2024, the results will be out by August when the school must resume. Okay. If you're writing your exam by, if you're writing your exam, okay, by May 20, that's May next year, and by May you must have been awarded, the scholarship. And then 3 months, you have May, June, July, August. Okay, by August, you will now, okay, the results will be out. I think you will still be able to meet up. Okay, Manji, you will still be able to meet up. I encourage you to go ahead. You'll be able to meet up. One thing you must do is that immediately you get this scholarship, Manji, what you should do first is to go to your school. It's all about letter writing and meeting the relevant people. Everything is going to work out very fine. Okay, it's even nice you're in your final year and you're doing this. Okay, it's very nice. Once you have your scholarship, with your scholarship letter and with a letter you draft through your HOD, through the dean and to the VC, everything will be fast tracked for you. Trust me. You don't have to be scared about it. And moreover, you should also be encouraged that you are doing this at an early stage of your, of your life. Yes, some of us didn't start this early, so it really affected the number of years we spent. Okay, it's good you started this thing very early. So at this period, if you apply for it, all things being equal, no ASU strike and all that, and everything goes well, you will definitely, be able to join your group. You can easily tell your school to give you some time to get these documents so that you can join them, because they will definitely need your official transcript and official statements that shows that you actually have this degree and these results that you claim that you have. Okay. Mr. Kefas, Mr. Jude, please give us a sample format for SOP and educational CV. Okay. When it comes to the SOP, I usually try as much as possible to teach people how to write it. If I give you a sample of an SOP and you look at it, you may not really understand what really happened there, and it becomes difficult for you to replicate it for yourself because you don't really understand the the structure and the way the SOP was crafted. So my interest is to teach you how to write this SOP, this statement of purpose of motivation letter, and I've already done a video on it. Okay. However, I will still look for free flying SOPs that meets a very good standard. Okay, and then I will share it with the group, with our YouTube followers. I will share it so that you'll be able to look at it and then watch my video on how to write motivation letter. Then you can add the skills I've taught you on how to write the motivation letter with what you see, so that you have a very unique document that will beat the rest. Because like I said in one of my videos, this is a competition. So you must have all the necessary skills and all the necessary advantages that you need to beat the rest. Yes. So the SOP, like I said, I'm going to find a way to get one that I look at that is very nice, that is flying all over the internet. Okay, remember, don't copy anything you see anywhere. Don't do that. You are going to be flagged for plagiarism. Okay, so when you see it, look at the ideas that are there, compare it with some of the things that you happen in your life, then watch my video on it, create something very nice for yourself, and then be confident about it. Okay, now let's look at the educational CV too. I also do the same thing for the CV. I also get a nice one, and possibly I will, revamp my own, and then, send to the group, so maybe you can have a look at, my CV and the educational CV that I used for my application. I will try to do that. Manji, I hope I was able to address your concerns. Okay, if yes, please let me know. If you still have other questions, you can still drop them. Okay, I'm actually here for you. Okay, going back to some of the documents that you need, please. I just want to share something to everyone here. Um, if you don't have English language proficiency examination test, please, or certificate, I mean, if you don't have it, please do well to make provisions on how to get one for yourself. See, I cannot overemphasize the importance of this English language proficiency examination. It is very important. I know they've added money to it. This, I think this September 1, yesterday they increased the price of IELTS and TOEFL. I know it's very expensive, and I know how things things are very difficult for people to actually get by every now and then. Okay, I understand that, but if you can invest in this, if you can't write IELTS, yes, you write TOEFL. If you can't write TOEFL, write Duolingo. Okay, just write any of these English language examination tests. It actually removes a lot of stress from you. Yes, personally, I application. I couldn't write it when I was making my own application because of the money. Please, I hope you can hear me. Okay. So it actually, affected and reduced my chances for applying for so many scholarships, so many of them. And one of them was the OKP scholarship that I applied. One of the OKP scholarships, so in Netherlands, I applied for it, and they told me that I don't have a language proficiency. And because I don't have language proficiency, I'm not qualified, I'm not qualified to apply for the scholarship. And that was a big problem. So they gave me about 2 months to apply to get my language proficiency certificate. I couldn't get it because there was no funds available to write that examination that period. Okay, so please, I beg you, even if it is Duolingo, write it. Okay, but please, if you don't have the money, if you have tried and tried and you can't raise the funds to write this test, still don't worry. Improve the other aspects of your application package. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel weak about it. You can get this certificate from your university showing that you studied in English language. They use it to make your application. Okay. Before I continue, let me read a question from Manji. Thank you for your response. I have watched many of your videos and I'm prepared, and I'm very aware of plagiarism, just like letter writing. Is there a format or structure we should know? Okay, when you mean, okay, for the SOP, right? Okay, yes, there is a format. Let me quickly talk about the format one more time. Okay, you have explained what each paragraph should contain and conclusion. What I wanted to know is that the rules guiding SOP, like addressing topic or subject matters. Okay, thank you very much for making the question clearer now. Okay, there are rules guiding the SOP, and you need to address the problems that the program is interested in solving. That is the subject matter. Your SOP should be able to address the problems the program is interested in solving. I don't know your program, You can give me the name of your program. Maybe I can use it as an example when discussing, if I can get something from there. Okay, mind you, if you can hear me, you can give me the name of your background or your interest or the area you are interested in. Let's just use it as an example to discuss. Okay, while we are waiting for that, there are rules, of course. So those rules are every statement of purpose should contain the ideas I explained in those paragraphs. And at the end of the day, you should be able to address the problems the program was created to address. When each department is created, department of let's say human resource, department of maybe MSc microbiology, MSc in anatomy, or NSc in anything, there is an interest, there is a goal, there is a problem that program was created to solve. So if you are going to write your SOP, you must be able to align yourself perfectly that at the end of your SOP, you are contributing to the solution of the problem that program was meant to solve. Okay? A program, like for example, I'm still waiting for a program for Manji. If he can give us his program, maybe we can use it as an example so that he will understand better. So these rules are very important. If they read your SOP from the first paragraph where you mention the statement of problem, talk about your suitability for the program, and talk about the program itself as well as your career prospect. These 4 paragraphs that I mentioned in that video and I mentioned currently should be able to solve the problem that that program was meant to solve. Some programs are, they are tilted towards solving climate change problem. They are tilted towards providing food for the needy. Some programs are tilted towards, improving peace around the world. Some programs are tilted towards, providing education for all. Some of these, sustainable development goals. So when you are done writing your motivation letter or your SOP, make sure that anybody who reads that SOP should have the mindset that yes, this is a very good candidate whose background, whose interest, and whose future career prospect will lead to adding a good contribution to the solution of this problem this program was meant for. Please, it is very important. Okay, let's discuss other things. I want to bring to your notice about a program in the Erasmus catalog called the TISE. Yeah, the program is called TISE, T-I-S-E. Yeah. Okay, I can see Manji's program. Okay, cloud computing, which is under technology, green networking under technology. Okay, that's nice. No, you see that this green networking mostly have to do with sustainable development goals, which is maintaining the climate condition, right? So this program was created for a purpose, and the purpose of creating this cloud computing likely going to be to make data access better and faster. And there are problems that are associated with data access and data transmitting. So these are the areas where you would think of when you are writing your SOP. Green networking and cloud computing. What was it even meant for? What was it meant to do in the first place? A program is not just created just for creation's sake. There is a reason the program was created. So that is the reason, that is the line of action you're going to do when writing your SOP. Okay? Please, I hope I'm able to explain it very well. Even though I'm not very versatile with your line of course, but I hope you're able to understand what I mean. So let's go back to what I was saying earlier about the TCA program. I decided to bring it up because the program is called Transition, Innovation, Sustainability, Environment. This program accepts a lot of people from all over the world. Whatever is your background, you can actually come and apply for this program. So they don't care your class of degree. They don't care your background. I mean, not your class of degree, please. They don't care about your background, okay? Whatever background you have, but both in sciences or in arts, you can actually apply for the transition, innovation, and sustainability environment. It's a very interesting program. So I encourage you to look at it when you go to the catalog. So another thing I want to talk about is about the GRA position in the US. Many of their programs have started. Many of the applications have started, and they have application waivers. So please don't be scared of application fees. Okay, the applications have started, and some of them, if you write them, if you email them, they will waive the application fee for you. Very easy, very simple. Just tell them of your financial status, that you can't afford to pay for the application fee. You can apply for them. Remember that the GRA position, they're interested in people who have research background, who have teaching background, who have done teaching and done research. And you can actually use your teaching. If you did NYC, you can use your teaching during NYC as an experience. And if you have done your final year project, you can use it as your research experience. So you make your application to them. Many of them have opened, and people who have started making application by December this year, they will be getting their scholarship. They will be getting their graduate research assistant positions. So I encourage you to make application. Sometimes I share some of these things on LinkedIn. I retweet them on Twitter. And once I see an opportunity posted by someone, I just retweet it immediately or repost it on LinkedIn. So there are so many of them. Okay. So I will try as much as possible to be posting as many as I see. Make the application now. Don't just stick to it has to be Erasmus or it has to be Chevening and all that. So, and again, Chevening scholarship too. I'm sure it has started. Yeah, I'm sure Chevening scholarship have started for next cohort. Do well to also make your application for it. The Commonwealth scholarship too. Some of them have started too, and you should apply. There is also Commonwealth scholarship in what's it called Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholarship. Yes, in Africa. Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholarship. Please apply for this scholarship. Apply for it. Some of them is in Rwanda, in Uganda, in so many of our African countries, and they are very nice. I have people who got scholarship there. This Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholarship, and they are very nice programs. Okay, you can do them. They are less competitive compared to those ones that are in Europe, in America, and the rest of them. It's part of the application you should make. Okay, so Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholarship, please also go for them. Then back to the US universities. So many of those universities, once you apply to them, they have funding available. And their funding is in terms of GRA positions. Okay, graduate research assistant position. There are many of them. Please do well to apply for them. So if you still have questions, please don't forget. If you have questions, drop it on the comment section, and then we'll also talk about it. Okay. And then another thing you should also do is that while you are making your application, see opportunity where you can do volunteering. Please, if you can do volunteering, even if it is online volunteering opportunities, you take it up. Okay, even if it's on-site volunteering, please take it up. Do this volunteering and document them very well. Talk about the positions that you took during this volunteering and what you did and the impact this volunteering had on the people that you did the job for. Volunteering positions, you are not paid for it mostly, okay? You just do it because of your love for the community or love for the society. They are very much interested in this. They are very much interested in it. The last video I did about criteria, selection criteria for many scholarship. All the scholarship I mentioned, many of them, they are interested in volunteering positions. Because if you say you don't have the work experience, and that's the reason why you don't have an experience, you can use volunteering experience to cover these things up. Yes, you can use it. If you did something like maybe a pharmacy, and you want to go for a program in pharmacy, you can easily decide to go to some of these shops that dispense drugs and do free jobs for them. Yes, you can do free jobs for them. You can look at NGOs that are within your communities and go and volunteer for them. You can be doing it every weekend. Yeah, every weekend, maybe on Saturday, you go and work for them and have an experience with them. You can also decide to do it once in a month. Okay, volunteering position, because you are not paid, so you may not be able to dedicate all your time to them because you have other paid stuff you are doing. So you can be doing them because doing these things actually shows how much you can give back to the society. And this is what they're interested in. When you have Mr. A give back to the society, Mr. B give back to the society becomes a better place. Okay. When you have when you are given something and you, even with the little you have, you're able to give to the society. That means if you are giving much, you will give more to the society. That is the idea behind volunteering. And when you are doing volunteering, you are also coming closer to the people and knowing the problems that are affecting the people. So anybody who is doing volunteering understands that there is a problem and tries to bring solution to that problem. Okay, I have a question from Steve Ubai. How many pages SOP? SOP usually comes with instruction by the organization. They come with instruction. For example, for my program, Public Health in Disaster, they told us to write 1-page motivation letter or 1-page SOP. Okay, they didn't indicate the font size. They didn't indicate the font style. Okay, they said write 1-page motivation letter. So whatever you are going to write must be 1 page. Some programs will tell you to write 500 words motivation letter, 300 word motivation letter, some 250. Some even tell you to write 1,000 word motivation letter. So you have to pay attention to the instruction that is given by the organization. The instruction is everything. So no matter what you know from other places, whatever the organization says you should do, just go straight and do it. Okay. Manji said, thank you, Mr. Jude. I am married man. Okay. I'm a married man. Okay. Is it possible to move with my family, especially moving from country to country? You mean for the Erasmus program, I assume. Okay. For the Erasmus, yes, of course. Me too. I am married and I moved my family to Europe too. So you too, you can actually do it. And but one thing I will advise for those of us who are married, who are coming for the Erasmus program, okay, like Manji, who is saying that he's coming for this program. I don't know, Manji, if you have a child, okay, because it will also determine, there's a lot of factors to consider there. If you don't have a child, it's easier to move around. If it's just you and your wife, you can easily move from place to place without problem. What you just need to do is just to buy flight tickets and then you move. Sometimes you can even use bus if the distance is not much, because within the EU country, they are very close by and the distance are not that much. So, but even with the flight stuff, it's still not very expensive. So you can easily move around. But if you have a child, that is where the complication is. So because having a child, the child will be enrolled in school while they are in your first country of mobility. So our own case was that our child is still very small. Even till now, she has not started she has not started school yet. Okay, she's still very young. We came here when she was 6 months old or thereabout. 6 months old. Okay. So so there was no problem moving around with her. Okay. So it's something you should consider. And again, if you are married, you should consider a track within your program that has less mobility. Some programs give the opportunity for you to select your countries of mobility. Where you move from country A to country B, you have the opportunity to select. While some program you don't select, they will just move you the way they want. And some programs have more mobilities than others. So if you have a child, it becomes more difficult, okay, to move with your child. But without your child, just you and your wife, it's very easy. It's very easy to move around. Okay. So, but I still have some other people who my program just run across Spain, Sweden, and Cyprus. So after our Spain, first semester, we have opportunity to move to either Sweden or Cyprus. So we are, selected to move to different different universities. We couldn't make the choice, but the university made the choice for us. Okay, so you move to the area you want, you are sent to go, and after that mobility, you can return back to your home university. For us, our home university is Spain. So if you have a family, immediately you finish that second semester, you can easily return back to your country of base, and then from there you can just continue your other programs and your other journey. So it's quite doable. It's quite doable. Okay. I hope I was able to address your concerns, Kefas, Mr. Kefas. Okay, Jay, I have a question. Must my undergraduate supervisor be my referee? Okay, it must not be your undergraduate supervisor. Your undergraduate supervisor must not be your referee. However, it is recommended that your undergraduate supervisor becomes one of your referee. The reason why I recommend that you use your undergraduate supervisor as your referee is because this person supervised you in a research project, and because of that, the person stand in a better position to talk about your research abilities. You know, there is this personal contact this supervisor has with you that other lecturers don't have. The other lecturers came to the class, they taught you and all that. So there is no personal relationship you have with them. It's all based on class levels, based on the teacher lecturer student relationship, very far. But there is a closer relationship with your supervisor during the times you meet for project corrections, during the times you meet for advice on what to do. So the person is in a better position to talk more about you. So when the person is writing a recommendation letter to the university on your behalf, the person will be able to put some of this information into the letter, and then the credibility of your letter becomes stronger. So if the person is say, I am his lecturer and also his project supervisor. Are you seeing that? So you see that the person has a better ground. I taught this student and also supervised the person's project. You see that the person will be able to say a lot of things about you, and the selecting committee will say, yes, this person has a very good background or grounds to actually recommend this person to our organization. This supervisor knows this student very well. So it is better. Please try as much as possible to have a good relationship with your supervisors and your other lecturers, and then get a very good referee or recommendation letter from them. Okay, Mr. Manji, yes, you have a child just a year old, and that's very good. So it's easier for you. You can actually move around with the child. Okay, basically the child will be in crèche, in daycare. Actually, when your child comes to Europe, is daycare, so it's very easy. It's not an issue. The one that is usually a very big problem is when the child is above 3 years. So they have started primary school, then their primary education. So it's difficult to move them from one place to the other, changing their school regularly. But for children that are less than 3 years is very easy. So you can easily do that. Okay, you can easily do that. Okay. If there are other questions, you can drop them. And Jay, I hope I was able to respond to your question very well. And Manji, I hope I was able to respond to your question very well. Steve, if you are still there, I hope I was able to respond to your question very well. Mm, okay. Please also make sure you apply for partial funded scholarship. I posted a scholarship recently about £10,000 for UK universities, those that want to switch to AI. So even though it's not full scholarship, please, I encourage you to still apply for them. There are so many scholarships, and I don't really have, well, I say I don't really have the energy to be posting all the available scholarships on our channel. However, I pray for such energy soon. So I'll be able to be updating you guys on, scholarships that are very much available, so that you'll be able to apply, and also not just updates, I also, give you insight on how to make each of those applications. I just hope so. So, but whatever scholarship you see, the resources on our channel are more than enough. And the comment section, you can even learn a lot from our comment section, because some of the questions and concerns you may have, some people may have asked them. That is why I encourage people to put, questions on the comment section, so that when others come, they can easily read up and, know what they need to know without really, thinking too much. Okay. So, I don't know if there are other questions. You're welcome, Jay. I'm still waiting. Are there other questions? Okay. Okay, everyone. So, like I said earlier, I'll be reviewing five persons, you know, motivation letter. So, if you are interested in this review, please just put on the comment section that you are interested, and then after the live session, I will contact you so that we will do the review. Okay, the first five persons that you know put up their interest, and I will contact them after our live session. Okay, Steve, you mean CV, not SOP. For the for this CV, it also depends on what the scholarship says. Most times when they tell you to upload your CV, if you go to the place to upload it, you will see the maximum size. Sometimes they will tell you file size should not be more than 1 MB. So when your file size is not more than is not when your file size is the maximum of 1 MB is requested, you should know that your CV should not be very long. For sometimes they will not even have a limit. Sometimes they will tell you you want a 2-page CV. They will tell you you want a 3-page CV. My CV when I applied for the Erasmus program was about 7 pages. Yes, 7 pages for all the 3 programs I applied during my time. For other scholarships, I was uploading them. But some scholarship, like the DART scholarship, they told me I needed a 2-page CV. So I had to sit down and compress my 7-page CV into a 2-page CV. And I removed a lot of things for me to get that 2 pages. I removed a whole lot. Okay. So the the CV page number depends on what the scholarship wants. For if you're applying for this OKJ, okay, number one, if you're applying for graduate research and teaching assistant position in in the US, and you are asked to submit your application via the via email of the professor or the principal investigator, it is usually advised to use a 2-page CV because it's easier for the reviewer or the professor to see your CV quickly and then know what you are capable of. So it's advisable. But when you're applying for a scholarship like let's say Erasmus, and they didn't indicate the number of pages, please put all the details. Give them all the details. It's better that way. So that way they will be able to have a good picture of who you are, and give you a very good review. Okay. Um, Steve, I hope I was able to address your question. Okay, scholarship that are best in Europe. The word best, I think, is relative from person to person. When it comes to the Erasmus program, because Erasmus moves from one place to the other, and uh, there are more than one universities involved in Erasmus program, and you get more than one degree certificate. I think that one, it has its own advantage, depends on what you want. So it can be the best for somebody who wants to travel around Europe and they attend, multiple universities. It becomes the best for that person. Some people are not really interested in this type of, mobility. Yes, some people want to just stay in a particular country and finish their program. So a scholarship like that scholarship becomes a nice option. Yes, it becomes a nice option where you can easily stay in Germany from the beginning till the end and then finish your program. So, and again, the scholarship package also differ. Okay, scholarship like the DART scholarship, they can even pay your spouse. This, let me let you know too. That scholarship can pay your spouse. That scholarship is also very suitable for people with family. Yes, that scholarship in Germany. I think most of the applications have ended. I'm not very sure. I think the dad airport scholarship have ended. Okay, but the scholarship pays your spouse. They also pay your child. Okay, this is an advantage that will have over Erasmus. Erasmus scholarship does not pay your spouse and does not pay your child. and that also, have some contribution towards your accommodation. So, but Erasmus does not have a contribution towards your accommodation. Okay, or they only pay you your travel allowances and your, installment allowance, as well as your monthly stipend. Okay, whereas this that, be able to, take account of your family. So that's an advantage that you can consider one. You can consider that one as an advantage as a married man. And we have the OKB scholarship too in Netherlands. That one is stable, and it's in Netherlands. You don't need to move around. You do your internship there and all that. And it's also a nice program, and they are taught in English language. So the idea of best will be very difficult to give. Depends on a lot of factors. Another thing is even post-study visa. Ability to get post-study visa. How easy it will be in the country. So because of the mobility, the mobile nature of Erasmus, you will have resident card for many European countries, at least 2 European countries. So it will give you the opportunity to choose which of these countries you want to reside after you finish your program. Which of them do you want to, apply for post-study visa? You want to stay and apply for your post-study visa. So that's an advantage. For those other scholarships because for those other scholarships that don't move around, maybe the Spanish government scholarship, the Denmark government scholarship, the Netherlands government scholarship, even this, SI scholarship in Sweden and the rest of them. All those ones, once you finish, you'll be able to apply for their residence, for their post-study visa to stay back in that country. Okay, but the Erasmus gives you opportunity to choose which of these countries do I want to stay after my studies. Maybe you went through France to Spain and then finish your program in Netherlands. You can decide to, apply for post-study visa in any of them. So a lot of things come in there. Okay. Okay, Steve, you are number 2. Okay, number 2 for the SOP review. So Steve and Jay, I will contact you after this live session. Okay. Are there other questions or other concerns? So please, guys, make sure you make as many applications as possible. Please take it very serious. It's a full-time job, and it's something that changes your life for good and the life of your family. So I encourage you to apply. Even the scholarship in Africa, which is the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship, don't look down on it. Apply for it. It can be a life-changing opportunity for you. So apply for it. So wherever you see scholarship and the country is safe and it is fully funded, it covers your tuition fee and pays you, stipends, please apply for it. And the another thing I will also say, and I like repeating it each time, is that you should not be very rigid with your interest. Don't be very rigid about it, because the world problem keep on changing. And if the programs that you did in the university is no longer solving the problems that are of imminent value to the world, you should be able to be flexible to suit to the trends, to where the funds are available, to the problems of the world. Okay, programs that are solving the problems of our today world. Some of the programs that we have in our universities, sorry to say, some of them are not able to solve our current problems, or they are not very, very relevant to our today's world. So that can actually be a challenge for you. So don't be rigid that because I did this program as an undergraduate, I'm looking for something very close to it to do as in postgraduate. You can actually decide to switch career entirely. Okay, you can decide to switch career. It's a very simple process. You just have to know the career you want to go into. Okay, for example, this period where you know that technology is very important in every aspect, both in sciences and the art and in management. Technology is taking over everything, and you decide to switch to tech. So it's a very nice something. As someone that did economics, for example, I decided, okay, let me go into technology. Do a lot of these online courses on Coursera. Do a lot of these programs, tech programs that are online. You can easily go for it, learn them, and know the basics, and decide to apply for scholarship in these areas. Okay, it's also a good way to switch. So if you also see a program that is not really your background, what you just need to do is to go and take up online courses. Another thing to do is also to use YouTube. YouTube is a university on its own. Everything is on YouTube. So you can watch a lot of these YouTube channels and videos and learn a lot about an area you don't know anything about. And then you have a good background in it. Then you do some courses to get certifications from Coursera and Udemy, and then you apply for these programs, and then you see yourself switching from maybe a program, maybe you are switching from a program that is not very relevant in our today's world into a program that is more relevant. Okay, it's something you should consider. Hi, Benedicta, welcome. Welcome. Please, if you have any question, you can drop them. We have been on this live session since 6 p.m. West African time for about an hour right now. So, and we have talked about a lot of things, and we have also addressed personal concerns of some people who actually, posted their questions. So, if, like I said earlier, if you are still interested in the SOP review, we have 2 persons that have indicated interest. So you can please, drop your name, and we'll be able to take it up from there. Okay, for the available scholarships, my Manji, please, can you kindly follow me on LinkedIn? Because most times what I do is repost. Okay, can you kindly follow me on LinkedIn? The link to my LinkedIn account is on the description section of our last video. Okay, on the scholarship application, on the scholarship playlist. I will also try and drop it on the, or you can go on LinkedIn and search for Jude Obodo. You will see my profile picture there. So I usually repost any of these scholarship links that I see from anybody's wall. I repost them so that my connections can see them and make good use of them. Okay. Yeah. Do you have any question, Benedicta? You're welcome, Benedicta. Welcome. Mr. Manji, hope I was able to address your question. As a final year student, you are in a very good position. Okay, another thing I will also advise everyone, please try to make more, try to make more networks, improve your networks, connect with a lot of people. LinkedIn is one of the best places to connect with people. Okay, Benedicta, number 3, okay. Connect with a lot of people on LinkedIn, follow them up. You'll be getting a lot of insights from them. You also be getting a lot of information from them. You don't have to rely on a single person. So follow as many scholars as possible on LinkedIn and on Twitter. Make use of your time to follow them, see their posts, see some of their stuffs, and you will get a lot of inspiration. Sometimes some of the things you write in your motivation letter may come from a project that has been done by a scholar who graduated from a particular program. You look at the topic and it gives you an idea of how you are going to write your own, SOP, how you're going to write your own motivation letter. So because iron sharpens iron, when you follow the people who have gone through this process, you will definitely learn 1 or 2 things. Okay. Benedicta, we are just discussing the questions that were asked by some of our viewers. So if you have any question you can ask, I can easily address them. However, this session will also be recorded. Okay. You can easily rewatch them anytime you want. So if you have any question, don't feel lost. Okay. If you have any question that you had in mind to ask, you can easily ask and then we'll handle it. Okay. Benedicta, Benedicta. Please, so ask your question. Our goal here is to, help you very well so that you become a big man, a big woman too, Benedicta. Okay. We also want you to be a big woman too. So some of this information we didn't have the opportunity to get them, and that was on us actually, because some of this information we are all lying there, but we didn't have access to them because nobody really directed us to it. So those of you who are here, you guys are really doing well for yourself, and to me, you guys are really at the top of your game. Okay, you guys are really at the top of your game. When I was an undergraduate or when I newly, left the university, I didn't know I could get some of this information on YouTube, and I was doing most of the things I was doing alone, and I was doing it blindly. Okay, and that was part of the reasons why I spent a lot of years doing these things on my own and trying to learn it, okay, on my own. So, but you guys are learning from the experiences of a lot of people, a lot of scholars all over the world, and coming to a place like YouTube, there are countless information you can get here, and this information is enough to change your life. Okay, you don't need to pay anybody for any of these things. These are things you get free of charge. Just buy your internet data bundle, and then you learn these things and do these things yourself, and you get scholarship worth millions of okay, millions of dollars and all that. The Erasmus program is worth more than 50,000 euros per person. So for a common someone like like me, I don't know where I would have gotten the finances to study in Europe, okay, without this scholarship. It would have been, in fact, it is almost impossible, okay. So it is worth the effort, it is worth the time, it is worth everything that you give it. Okay, Manji, I see your message. You have followed me on LinkedIn. Okay, good. I'll be sharing as much as I see, and then you follow them up, make applications, especially those ones that are in the US application, apply to them too. There are so many schools in the US, they have so many funding, graduate research assistant positions. As you're applying, before November, you may even get your funded positions. Yeah, because they give the admission very early. They started early, so they usually give the admission and scholarship very early. Some of them come with application fee, but if you apply to them, they waive it for you. So the application fee should not be an issue for you. Immediately you see any application that has application fee, just write a letter to them explaining to them your financial difficulties and why you can't pay for the application fee, and they waive it. Some of them will have code. When I share them on my LinkedIn, you will see some of their codes. Some of them are automatic waiver. For example, University of Alabama, we have their waiver this October. I think 1 week application waiver period this October. Yes, the exact date will come out. They usually do it every year. So usually the second week and the third week of October. But once I see the exact date, I will share on my LinkedIn. And Mr. Manji, you can as well go to my LinkedIn. There are some reposts I did recently. You can check them and check those applications that are already on and make your application. So don't be scared of application fees, okay? Sylvia, okay, you are the next, you are the fourth person, okay? Sylvia, you're the fourth person, okay? Good, good. I will contact you after the live session. And please, if I've mentioned your name for the SOP review, please try to follow me on LinkedIn, okay? The link to my LinkedIn is on the last video that I did or you can just search Jude Obodo on LinkedIn and follow me so that we will chat there. Okay, so that we'll be able to do the review there. You are welcome. Okay, but how easy it is for me to get permanent residence in the US? Because Europe seems to be more generous than US. Okay, the truth there is that getting PR in US is difficult. That's the truth. But your life does not remain the same after you finish your program in the US. If you get a scholarship, a graduate research assistant position, it's not the same. And you can easily still move around. One thing there is that once you have gotten one scholarship, you are now a global citizen. You are highly sorted out for, and you are highly respected. Wherever you put your application, you are respected. So that one is something you should have at the back of your mind. So the US or Canada or UK, it should not bother you. What should be your interest? You should get the scholarship first. Get the scholarship. Get as many as you can. Please get as many as you can. You can have PR anywhere, because during your study period as a student, for most countries, it doesn't really count for, it doesn't count for permanent residents. It's only in Canada that someone who is doing who is studying can actually have some counts that will help him or her get permanent residence. For some people who are doing PhD in Canada, before the end of their PhD in Canada, you have already gotten their permanent residence when you apply. So these are some of the places it can count. And then for Netherlands, no, for I think Sweden and Norway, yeah. I think the PhD in these places actually counts towards their PR, but it should not be your problem. Wherever you get your scholarship, you can make the best from it. You can make the best. Okay. Europe, yes, Europe is nice to get PR, and most of their PR within 5 years you'll be able to get their PR. But then you won't study for 5 years, okay? You won't study after your studies. If, for example, you are doing Erasmus program, you do it for 2 years, and you finish your program, you will need a post-study visa to stay back in any of these European countries. And for you to get a post-study visa, you need to at least have some amount of money in your account for you to apply for post-study visa. That money, you use it to take care of yourself when you want to stay in Europe, or you get a professional job that will sponsor your visa to stay. So it's not as if because you're studying in Europe, you will just get your PR. It's not as simple as that. You just need to get a good job. So if you study in the US and then after your studies for 1 year and 6 months, you get a job that sponsors your visa, you are good to go. You have a work sponsored visa in the US. And when you work in the US for a good number of years, I think up to 7 to 10 years, you should be able to apply for your green card and get your PR. Yes, it's longer, but it is still doable. So the idea is to get a good job after your studies, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in US or anywhere. After your studies, you get a good job. It's a very nice opportunity. Okay, Professor Onne, okay, Augustine from Ghana, you're welcome, okay, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome, Benedicta, you're welcome. So these are some of the information that you need to have. We have been live for the past 1 hour, and I'm here to address any of your questions. For those of you who are just joining, please drop your questions and we'll address them. Like I said earlier when I started the video, I'll be reviewing SOPs for 5 persons. So we already have 4 persons who have indicated interest for only motivation letter review. And I will contact them after this live session. Okay, so if you're interested that we review your SOP or your motivation letter, please do well to indicate. I have 4 persons now, so remaining 1. And please, if I call your name, do well to reach me out on LinkedIn. Okay, it is through LinkedIn we are going to do the review. Okay, Manji Kefas, is it possible to get a good job in Europe before graduation? Yes, it's possible to get a job. That is one of the advantages of doing programs that are 2 years, like the Erasmus program. When you do your internship in Europe, you get the experience working, doing actual job in the in the EU, and that experience you use it to apply for your job. Personally, I'll be making applications for some of these things by next year towards the end of my program, to see what comes up. And but based on the experience of our previous, the earlier scholars and those who have graduated from the program, most of them have gotten jobs in different parts of Europe. Yes, most of them have gotten jobs in different parts of Europe, and the job hunt it's is competitive, just like scholarship. That is why, as a scholarship recipient, you have the idea of competition. You understand what it means to hunt for something. Okay, that's one of the advantage you get for applying for scholarship. So when you apply for these things, everything, trust me, everything is all about competition. Okay, the job hunt is the same thing as the scholarship hunt. It's all about the search, or the fight for limited slots. So it is difficult. Okay, it is competitive, but it is very possible. You can make your application towards the end of your program. Even after the end of your program, you can apply and then get this job offers. It's very possible. So, and another thing you should also know is that in any of these European country you decide to settle in, you should look at the rate at which they speak English. I believe that most of us here are English speakers, but if you are someone who knows how to speak other European languages, it becomes very easy. You have an advantage more than those who only know how to speak English. Currently, I'm learning how to speak Spanish. Okay, I'm doing Spanish language classes so that I will add it to my resume. It also improves my chances of getting better positions after my studies, and it's something you have as an advantage when you come for the Erasmus program in the EU. You have opportunity to learn these languages, and I know that the Erasmus program on its own is not easy, but if you still make out time to learn these languages, it can be of great help to you. It can actually give you, an outstanding advantage even when you apply for job offers and positions outside the EU. Can I be allowed to work as? Yes, as an Erasmus, student, you're allowed to do student jobs. Okay. Yes, you're allowed to do student jobs. It's within the guidelines and the policies. But the student jobs, of course, has work limit. If you are in Spain as an Erasmus student, your work limit is 30 hours, per week. 30 hours per week. So you see that you can work. But the problem there is that you just have to understand that if you're in a country where, especially if you're not in the capital, because the capital of most of these European countries, they have an accommodation for English language, unlike the other, unlike the other cities. So, for example, in Spain, Madrid has more accommodation for English language. So there are a lot of English language, organizations that can easily employ students to actually work for them. So this is also a challenge. Okay, so even as a student, you should understand that. And because if you don't speak the local language, it becomes difficult to do some of these student jobs that are available. And again, if your program or your university is not in a city that have a lot of English language speakers, and they are speaking one of these European languages that are difficult, or that is not English, it becomes a challenge for you. Another thing you should also pay attention to is that in Erasmus program, uh, because of the difficulty, you stay in a place for like 3 months, 4 months, and then you're already looking for accommodation to move to another city to continue your studies. It becomes very difficult. So before you even settle in the next city or in the next country to do your studies, arrange, get your student ID and all that. The exam is already there. You've written your exam. You need to move again for internship. You need to move again for the third semester, and you need to start writing your thesis. So these are some of the issues you may have, working as a student with the Erasmus Mundus, scholarship program. So you have to, have this in mind. But the Erasmus Mundus guideline does not restrict you from working if you have the opportunity. But make sure you don't exceed the work hours that is stipulated in your resident card. Okay, as a student, you have a limited number of hours to work. And also the type of work you should do also matters. You can't take up works that have to give you, BF, health insurance, full-time contracts, that needs you to be there from morning till night. You know what I mean? So it becomes a kind of student work that is very easy to do if you must do it. But the program is very intense, I must tell you, Manji. It's very intense. It's not like the other programs you get in other places. There are a lot of, this is more like a professional program. Different patterns, different lecturers, different professors doing different teaching methods. And as you are trying to learn how these professors and teachers do their work, you have been asked to move to the next country for the next semester. And the program has a lot of intense, what's it called? Intense, sections, assignments, projects that you do simultaneously. As you are doing it, you are still processing your movements to go to the next country of mobility to continue the program. So you see that because of how it is structured, you may not really think of really working. You'll be battling with, let me really pass my program first. It's more important to me. Let me pass my program because it's not really easy. In Spain here, to get an A grade, you need to have 90 and above. 90 and above. And if you want to pass an examination, you must have 60 and above. That is pass mark. Now, 60 and above is pass mark, just pass mark alone. Now, they tell you that for you to graduate, you need to have 72 and above. That is a C. Are you seeing how tough it is? So 72, 73 here is C. Are you seeing how difficult it is? So you have to get 73. Whereas in our home country, when you have 70, it's A now. You should be a first class student with 70. So you have 70. So, but here, when you have 73, you only get a C. Are you seeing it? Now, but your pass mark for each course should be minimum of 60 over 100, which is D. But if you have D all through your program, all through your courses, you will not graduate. You will not graduate because the pass mark for you to graduate, to have your degree, you must have 72 and above, which is a C. So if you get relax and chill and then, let me just do and be getting 60 and above and be passing and be going, you may end up not graduating. Yeah, you may end up not graduating. So that's why it's difficult. Having work at the back of your mind when coming for the Erasmus program, it's very difficult. Ruth, welcome. I understand. You can easily rewatch them. Yes, the video will be recorded on YouTube, so you can easily rewatch them. Okay, Sylvia, please, for the Erasmus program, do I have to be a graduate from a particular Erasmus program like Masters in Public Health Disaster? Do I have to be a graduate from You don't have to be a graduate from Department of Health, okay? You just need to have an interest. You just need to have an experience working in a disaster setting. When I confirm from my program that they're going to accept new applicants for next year, I will do a video or a live session on how to, come up with ideas and how to think when you are writing your application for this program. Okay, but know that you must not be a health official for you to apply for Masters in Public Health and Disaster. However, you need to have a background or a connection to it. Okay, you need to have the experience, at least in a disaster setting. You also need to have an academic discipline that is linked to health, not necessarily health. It can be coming from biological sciences. It can be coming from health sciences, of course. It can be coming from medicine. You can also be coming from social sciences. Yeah, social scientists, people from management sciences can actually still do public health in disaster if you have the relevant experience. But I will talk about it in details if I get an authentic information that they'll be taking new applications. So it's something you should look out for. Okay, welcome Justine Ayimba, welcome, okay? Welcome. So guys, we have been on for 1 hour, 30 minutes. So I don't know if anyone has any pressing need about scholarship application, not necessarily Erasmus, any scholarship application or during any problem you've encountered during the process, you can ask and then we can handle it. In the video you did about how to apply to win the scholarship, you mentioned that process could take a year. Does that mean that I can't make it this year? Ruth, you can't apply for scholarship this year and then go this year. Usually takes about 12 months most times to get all the process done. If you're applying for a program like this Erasmus program and it started October, maybe you start October next year, you're going to start school September next year. So you see it's about 1 year. So you can't apply for any Erasmus program now and you start this year. Even for the UK scholarship, the Chevening scholarship, and the Commonwealth scholarship, if you apply for it this year, you're going to start, if you are successful, you start next year. So that is why I told you it takes 1 year. It's an application process. And some of them request for interviews. So for my program, when I applied in December, I was called for interview in March the following year, which was March last year. I was called for interview. Okay. So you see that it takes up to a year. So should I take my time, Ruth? Yes, take your time to make your application. Take your time to gather your thoughts, gather your documents, and then know the applications that you want, know the programs you want to apply. Give it your time, yes. If scholarship is the only means you have to study abroad, please give it your time. It's worth it. 50,000 euros is not beans. Chevening scholarship pay more than almost 40,000 pounds, 50,000 pounds to sponsor you. It's a whole lot of money. It becomes difficult for a lot of people to afford. Even to afford universities in our home countries, it's very difficult. How much more studying abroad? So it's worth the time. Give it your time, please. Please answer, don't go yet. What if I apply this year? I can start next year, right? Yes, of course, Ruth. If you apply for this scholarship this year, you can start next year. Like the US scholarship that is already open, if you apply this year, you can even get your funding by the end of December or January. You already know that you are going to the US. By next year, July, you're already in the US doing your program. Thank you, sir, for the response, but I don't have working experience in disaster or health sector, but I'm interested in the course and graduated from physical sciences department. Good. Since you don't have background in it, you create background. You go and get volunteering experience in disaster settings or in health sector. You can look at organizations that are interested in health and disaster related problems and volunteer with them. You can volunteer for 6 months, volunteer for 7 months or thereabouts. So you can have an experience. You can do online programs that deals with disaster and public health so that you get yourself acquainted with the background. So you can use that as a basis and interest to apply for your program. It becomes part of your motivation letter. You can give it a shot if you're interested, okay? However, you can still look at other programs and scholarships that are in physical science background. You can also look at it and also apply. So it's good you are open to areas that have funding. Apply widely, okay? Can your landlord write a proof of residence for you? You don't need your landlord to write a proof of residence for you. Use the law courts, okay? Go to any of the law courts, ask them to swear an affidavit for you. Okay, you swear an affidavit in the law courts, okay, that I, so and so person, I live in number 1, ABCD street, and then I have lived in this place for so and so number of years, and I pay rent here. I'm also a citizen of this country, and if you have not left your home country at all, Nigeria, for example, you state that I have not left my home country at all. Okay, or if you have left your home country, say the last time I left my home country was the year so and so. Okay, and then that I swear that I reside and I have lived in this country. I'm a resident of this country, and I do this under oaths, and that's it. The court will stamp and give it to you. Okay, that's your proof of residence. You don't need your landlord to do that. Please do this scholarship require West evaluation. Please, Justin Ayimba, Which of the scholarship are you referring to, please, so that we'll be on the same page? I will assume that you are referring to the Erasmus scholarship. Please, the Erasmus scholarship does not require WES evaluation. WES evaluation is only requested for some schools in the for people who have low CGPA and those who have HND who are applying for schools in the US and in Canada. However, if you excuse me, however, um, if you have low CGPA and you have HND and you want to apply for Erasmus program, and if you have enough experience, it can cover up for this. Okay, if you have enough work experience in the area you are applying for, not just any work experience in the area you are applying for, you can cover for it. And if you have a low CGPA and HND, you can actually still do the WES evaluation and still use it to make your application for Erasmus, but it is not compulsory. You don't actually need it. But to improve your chances, because you have low CGPA or you have HND degree or HND certificate, you can decide to do it to improve your chances, okay, of when you're applying for this. Please, if you have done WES evaluation, please don't let your WES evaluation lie waste. Make application with it. You have a very powerful document. Make as many applications with it. Don't just make one or two applications and leave it. And I know that WES evaluation is not cheap. So if you are able to do it, please don't let that document lie waste. Fire a lot of applications with it, and you will definitely be glad you did. Okay, Ruth, thank you for understanding. Can your landlord write a proof of residence for you? Steve, I thought I have addressed this question. I don't know, did you hear me when I addressed the question? Okay, you have asked the question before. Your landlord does not need to write a proof of residence for you. You just have to go to the law court and swear an affidavit, and that will do the job. Can a consultant or a professor where I work write a referral letter for me because I studied in Sudan, and we all know what the state of Sudan is right now? I can't even reach any of my lecturers. Okay, that is quite complicated. Because of the issue with Sudan, and you also need a confirmation from your university, and you have your transcript. I assume you have your transcript from this university in Sudan. I assume you've gotten it. And please, will you be able to send your transcript from that university? Will you be able to send it to the university, to the embassy during your application for visa? Because if you are coming to Spain, they will need your university to send the transcript directly from the school straight to the embassy. That's also another tricky stuff you need to know. Unless you are going to places like UK, that does not really need any contact with your university. For Spain, you request that your university send your transcript straight. So that may be a bit difficult. Then for the referral letter, since you can't reach them, please forget about them if you can't reach them. Use the professor where you work or the consultant where you work. So you write 2 recommendation letters that are work related recommendation letter. Use it. Okay, use it. It will be the best since you can't access them. Okay, can you mention those US scholarship to us? There are so many of them. I told one of our viewers earlier, follow me on LinkedIn. I share some of these things when I see them, even on Twitter. So when I see them online, I retweet or I repost. So the lists are usually very long. You look at them, you can apply to them. Many of them are on right now, and many of them will be ending the application this September. So please do well to apply to them. Steve, I hope you can hear me. Okay, you have your transcript. Good one, Ruth. That's nice. Ruth, hope I was able to address your question. Benedicta, my question isn't coming through. Okay. Why? What's the problem, Benedicta? You can retype then. With my background in midwifery, BSc, can I apply? Okay, apply for what actually, Justin? You want to apply for what in particular? I want to know which program or something. Let me have an idea what you mean. How do I tailor my undergraduate background in French to student affairs in higher education program in my SOP? You have a language background in French, and language is an important aspect of, you know, the sustainable development goals. You have to understand that. So learning, having the ability to speak two internationally recognized languages, because I assume you can speak English language, and it also means that you can speak the French language very well. So you can actually use it at for your own advantage. You're going for student affairs in higher education. Student affairs in higher education. Which program are you going for? You can use your French background to apply for this program. What is it called? Like I mentioned earlier, there is TISE program I mentioned, TISE in the Erasmus catalog, Benedicta. You can apply for it. They accept anybody from any undergraduate background. TISE, that's the name of the program. You can go look at it at the catalog and apply for it. You can also apply for program like there is this program, international international management. Yes, I think international management. You can look at international management, international development management. Yes, international development management. You can use it to tailor your SOP because the French language, I'm sure French is the common language used in your locality. So you can actually use your knowledge of French to actually develop and teach a lot of students or a lot of pupils who are out of school in your community. You can use it as a means to write your SOP to come up with engineering ideas. So language is very important. You can use it to your advantage. Please, it is for public. Of course, yes. Okay, Justin, your background in midwifery. Of course, you can use your background in midwifery to apply for public health in disaster. It is very much aligned, and you can do it. Like I said earlier, I'm not sure if my program will accept students this year. I'm not sure, but if I get the information, I'll post it on my YouTube channel so that those of you who are interested can make your applications. Please, does the Erasmus program have program for business or accounting or finance? This is because I work in the banking sector and I have a working experience in that field. Of course, the Erasmus catalog has programs for everybody. You will see business, accounting, financing, and all that there. What you just need to do, like go to the catalog, search for those programs one after the other. Once you see the title of the program, go into the details, read about it. As you're reading about it, you will see something that has to do with accounting, you will see something that has to do with finance, you will see something that has to do with business. Then open your mind. Excuse me. Accounting is needed in every organization. Finance is needed in every organization. Okay. So you can see how you can tailor this your background into the program. A program that needs, if you're going for a program like NOAA, there's this program called NOAA. I think it's a program on humanitarian response or crisis or so. I can't remember the name. It's also on the Erasmus catalog. This program does not, it's not meant for, a particular undergraduate program. Okay, it's not meant for a particular undergraduate program. So you can actually look at it and apply for it with your background in accounting and finance because they actually need, people from this area. Every organization need accountants, need finance, the financial experts to handle it. You can use it as your, background to apply. Okay. Or public, okay, public global health, good. Okay. Are there any other questions? Let me take water, please. Okay. Any other question? Justin, please, any program in public health, you can apply with your midwifery background. Okay. Both in global health, public health, any of them, both in global public health, you can apply for any of them. You're welcome, Benedicta. It is my pleasure, actually. Okay, my LinkedIn is Jude Obodo, Jude, then Ogbodo. Once you search on LinkedIn, you will see my profile picture and you'll be able to recognize me. You can send me a message there. Please, those of you who are selected for the SOP review, please send me a message on LinkedIn, send me connection on LinkedIn, and in the inbox, please introduce yourself, and then we can start from there once I finish this live session, okay? Please, what is the name of the program so I can check it out for financing and accounting? Okay, Sylvia, the name is Noah, Noah. Yeah, no, Noha, Noah, Noha. Yeah, I think Erasmus Mundus program for humanitarian action, something like that. Erasmus Mundus program for humanitarian action. Check it out. It will be very suitable for you. And there are so many others. Okay, don't just apply for one and rest. You can also apply for TISE. I recommend TISE for anyone who does not have a particular program in mind. TISE. Apply for it. Benedicta, please, you can also look out for TISE. Okay, TISE means, let me get the full meaning. TISE means transition, innovation, and sustainability environment. That's the meaning of TISE. Okay, please go for it. TISE accepts anybody from any background. Just go for it. And it's an amazing program because the program is all about how to transition some of the skills and the things that we have into, formats that will be able to solve the environmental problems and the global problems. And also, it's very much in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so any of this program that is in line with the Sustainable Development Goals, they are very wonderful. You can work in a lot of organizations globally that are interested in sustaining the environment. So it's a very nice program you can go for somebody who does not know maybe the program to apply for in Erasmus. Please go for it and add it to the list of the programs you apply for. Okay, you are welcome, Justin, yeah. Silva, you are welcome too. So are there any other concerns we should address? So in the next couple of minutes, I'll be ending the live session. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me in my first live session on my YouTube channel. I'm grateful that you guys came. Okay, Justin, one more question. We'll have to come home. Please, one last question, please. We won't have to come home. Okay, Justin, you don't need to come home after your program. Okay, for the Erasmus program, you don't need to. But for Chevening, you must go back home. You must go back home for Commonwealth scholarship. You must go back home unless you have a PhD in the UK. That is when you'll be allowed to stay back for Commonwealth only. But for Chevening, you must go back home. For Erasmus, you must not go back home. There is no policy that you must go back home. After your program, you can apply for post-study visa, fulfill the requirements, and you stay back. You can also apply for a job in Europe, and you stay back. You can move from there to anywhere you want to go for your job or for anything or for another program. It's all your business, okay? That's one of the advantage. Okay. In the absence of any other question, I want to thank everyone for joining me in this live session. I'm grateful for the engagement you guys engaged me in this live session. I'm very happy to see your questions and to see your concerns, and I hope I was able to address them as much as possible. And I really wish you all good success in your scholarship application. Do well to follow me on LinkedIn, and you can also drop your questions on our YouTube videos. Watch as many as you can and gain insights that you need that we didn't address today, and make your applications. I believe that before the end of this year, you will definitely have a reason to come and testify. and I'll be very happy to share your story. Trust me, I will share it everywhere. I will share it everywhere. I'll be very happy to share your success story. And okay, Israeli math concepts. I have a question. Some programs require a professor to write your reference for you, but I don't have a ready professor. Can't I ask a doctor that is a PhD academia or just any lecturer to write my reference for me? Please, you can use any of your lecturers or doctors in your department for your what's it called, referee letter. When the scholarship mention professor, professor is the name given to a lecturer who is teaching in a university. It does not really mean an academic ranking, the way we rank it in our home country, that the professor is a rank. Once someone has attained, become a teacher or a lecturer in a university, they address the person as a professor. Okay, it was when I came to Europe I discovered that, and also during my application time, I didn't use any professor to make my application. I got 3 scholarships, and the referees I used for the 3 of them, for these 3 scholarships, they were all doctors. They only had PhD. Okay, so they were not professors. So you can use them Israeli. Use them to make your application. You're good to go. Okay. In the absence of any other question, let me give maybe 2 minutes more. Maybe those of them that are joining us now can easily drop their question. People like Israeli that have their question, they can just drop it easily. In the next 2 minutes, we'll be, closing down this live session, but it will be recorded on our YouTube channel. You can easily watch them. And as you all know, I respond to, comment sections, to questions on the comment section. Please, if you have any question, drop them there. I'll respond to it as soon as possible and make sure I give you enough clarity so that you have all the information that you need to succeed. The idea is for you to succeed and have a better life for yourself. So I will try as much as possible to give you the time that you need. Okay. And another thing you guys should know is that very soon we'll be starting our 3rd semester and our internship for my Erasmus program. So I may not really be very much available this September and above. Okay. So, but I will make out time during the weekends and maybe at night to respond to any of your questions. Okay. So please do well to drop them. Don't be scared. Whatever question you feel you need to be clarified, you can easily drop them on our YouTube comment section. I will get notification and respond to them. Please don't be discouraged. Even if your application package is not entirely complete and you are running out of time, please do well to submit it. Okay? Do well to submit it. Steve Obai, you sent one. What did you send, please? Okay, please. Like I said, like I was saying before the message came in, if you're applying for a scholarship position and you discover that time is running against you and you don't really have, I actually want you to submit on time and submit the best of your package, okay? But if time is running against you and you couldn't finish up the whole thing the way you want it, please package it the way it is and submit. The rejection mail may come, and it's understandable. Even those that package their scholarship stuff well still get rejected. But it's an opportunity. It gives you a lot of clarity. It also gives you, something to work on. And some of these rejections will then come with, things for which you okay, you use it to understand certain things. So I encourage you, do well to submit your application, no matter how. Okay, so we're ending this one now. I hope you have a nice weekend, and I wish you success in your application. So take care of yourself. Bye.